Shooting from the Lip features views and opinions from smart, funny, serious, and not so serious people. This show is intended for a mature and not so mature audience. Enjoy the show!
Kevin Hale giving it to you on this Monday night, April 24th, 2017. Live tonight via Blog Talk Radio. Hoping everyone had a great weekend now that Monday has arrived. For me, it was a good weekend, really good weekend. And it was a weekend it's a milestone for me. Whether I wanted to deal with it or not, it was inevitable. In some cases, I'm actually glad it came around. My big 5-0 MG was Sunday, yesterday, April 23rd. Got to hang out with several friends, lots of friends, Saturday night at Bistro 42. Watched one of my favorite bands, Radiotronic. Again, lots of cool people joined me, my daughter. Good stuff. And here we are tonight. We haven't actually, last week, I didn't do a show last Monday. I'm turning his mic on, my buddy Russ. Russ, what's up, man?
What's going on, Mr. Kevin Hale?
It's going. Got my little birthday plug in, which you missed because of
noticeably absent for, huh?
Yeah, you were, and you owe me. Let's just say that. Fair enough.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Here we are this Monday night. You're out of town on business. All good with you?
Yes, it's all good. Yes, I'm in the Big D, otherwise known as Dallas, Texas. And let me tell you right now, it's a big city. It's real big.
It is.
And there is just an unlimited supply of wealth here. I mean, it makes Louisville look like a suburb of something. It's immense here.
Yeah, well, with work last week, I was in San Francisco, but by way of San Francisco, we had our pit stop at Dallas-Fort Worth airport, whatever they call it. Coming home, I had to deal with in excess of a 2-hour layover on Thursday night. Didn't get me home until like after 2 a.m., technically Friday morning, which made for a long Friday. And then Saturday rolled around, and so I'm kind of back to normal.
Yeah.
All good.
Well, people discount first world problems, but it sounded like you had a pretty whopper of a first world problem there.
I know, yeah, but as the proverbial saying goes, it could be worse. Someone else has it worse. Tonight, Russ, we didn't do a show last week. I'm trying to think, were you with me 2 weeks ago? You probably were. I can't remember, but anyways,
I'm always with you in spirit, Kevin.
I know, always. The first segment, Jamie Jaggers, former radio, TV, military journalist, local video marketing producer, Fox News fan. If that tells you anything, Russ. Stay tuned for those conversations later.
Big Bill O'Reilly fan, huh?
Probably. Well, that would be one of my topics I'll throw at her and see what she has to say. But she's going to, not only for her segment, the opening segment, which we'll talk about her, but I'm feeding her, her show debut. She gets to jump right in and be part of the round of shots. Jamie, V, Russ. Are you going to give her your dose of reality tonight, Russ?
Oh, absolutely. There will be a healthy dose of reality in tonight's show. I can assure you of that.
Yeah. Okay. She's a nice lady. So, let's handle her with care, at least.
Okay, Kevin, I've been through a spiritual awakening. I am nothing but positive energy now.
I want to get you to talk about that a little later. So, and also later, a couple of my music buddies, Kevin McCreery, Rahul Borkar, will be coming on during the third segment to recap a gig that they did on April 15th. So, but enough of that. But I have to plug myself real quick before I bring Jamie on. Last night, Sunday nights, Russ, I do the sports show with Heather Tungate. And I take pride in producing the shows that, we do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever night. But last night, I had one of my, you and I are Kentucky Wildcat fans. We're part of Big Blue Nation. And I had one of my all-time favorite players, cats, if you will, on last night, and Tony Delk. And it was a great segment and just a complete gentleman. And we had a really good time. So It's a little show plug.
And
there.
you didn't even invite me on the show.
I asked you. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. You seem to be in thought. I think this whole spiritual awakening thing is like, I'm losing my old Russ. I'm trying to figure out who the new Russ is.
No, you're getting Russ 2.0, baby.
Russ Sticular or what? Never mind. Anyways, all right.
Rustacular. That's right.
Rustacular. That's what I'm saying. Turning on her mic. The interrogation is officially getting ready to get underway. She's never. I think. Remind me, Jamie. We're breaking the podcast virgin seal tonight.
Virginity, right? Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
You are, up, lady? You're popping my. You're popping my podcast cherry.
Nice.
Jamie, don't start out that fast. The show gets faster.
I was gonna say we try to make it a marathon, but but I like it. I like it. Now, for the record, Jamie Jaggers.
Yes.
Tell me, I want to. These are just this information I need to clarify. Yes or no? Are you related to Mick Jagger?
As much as a musician myself, as much as I would like to say yes, unfortunately, I'm not. And you know what? I will give you credit. You're the first person to ever ask me that. So.
Oh yeah, right.
Actually, that's kind of a lie, but
I know.
It's Jaggers with an S.
Right, and it's Mick. It's Mick Jagger without the S. So my next question to you, Jamie, is when did you add the S to your name?
I just decided I was more special and needed to separate myself, quite frankly. So I just threw it on there.
All right, if you're not related to Mick, which Rolling Stone are you related to then?
Oh man, none of the above, unfortunately. I'm sorry to disappoint. Okay. I'm my own breed.
I got some wrong information.
I heard Mick was a big liberal anyway.
Then we're definitely not related. Definitely not.
Yeah,
that's what happens
Russ,
when you make millions of dollars and realize that you should probably help everybody out and raise all ships. You get all soft and snowflakey.
Oh.
let
nice.
The first what shot has been.
I was told that the political section started at 10:30 and that this part was supposed to be.
Yeah, but we can rag
me.
On musicians. No, that was just ragging on musicians. We can rag on musicians at any time.
Yeah, don't take it personal. You should not take anything personal, Jamie, until about 10:30. So, all right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. All right, let's go. I mentioned you're a former radio, TV, military journalist. So
yes.
You were in the military.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So, it kind of goes back further than that because I did dabble with a couple of careers prior to the military. And I would definitely say that's what led me to end up joining the military because I wasn't one of those people that was hell bent on going to college. I wanted to experience life. I was ready to work. I was ready to kind of see what my skill set was and what I was good at and what I wasn't good at. And I think it's vital to point out that my very first job, I was the Tasmanian devil at Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom, which is where I started entertaining people.
Nice visual. Nice
very
visual.
Important to
nice
note.
visual.
Exactly. So after high school, I did a few things. I was a flight attendant for a period of time. I was an apartment leasing agent. I did some property management type work. And then I did work at UPS and do some hard labor and go to college for a while. And I was just like, you know what? I just don't really know what I want to do. And I was so tired of school, I just didn't have much of it. I wasn't dedicated to it. You've got to be all in, take on that kind of debt and dedicate yourself to that. So I started looking at what jobs the military had to offer, and I actually had done some broadcasting classes in middle school and in high school and had been in the public eye, I guess you could say, in a couple of projects, and I loved it. So I saw that they were hiring broadcasters, and I went to first a Navy recruiter. I explored that option with the Navy, and the more I looked into it, the more I realized I would literally be living on a ship, and I had no desire for that. I hope you guys will excuse me. I'm getting over a cold.
Russ, add the she would have been living on a ship full of what, Russ?
Seamen? She would have been with some seamen?
Yeah, exactly. All right, sorry, Jamie.
The last thing that I need, right now. And so I went to see an Air Force recruiter, and I'm not going to lie. The idea that the Air Force offers a little bit of a cushier lifestyle than the other branches, it appealed to me. I didn't really want to join for, the hard knock life. I was all about the Air Force being the quote intelligent branch and, having a little bit of a more plush lifestyle. And I went for it. I had to do an audition, and I passed. Submitted an audition to the Defense Information School, which is the school where you learn how to be a broadcaster. And there are many reasons that people join the military, but for me, it was about being a young woman who didn't really want to go to school and was ready to experience life and get the hell out of my hometown and see something more. And so I did. I left. I went to basic training, and after basic training, I went to school to be a broadcaster, and I graduated top of my class. I enjoyed the hell out of school. It was definitely my favorite part, actually, ironically, of being in the military. And then I'm sorry?
No, I was going to say work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And I went to Texas for my first duty station. It's called Dyess Air Force Base. It's the 7th Bomb Wing, and that's where all the bomber jets are located. And we did a lot of playing war, where we would get our gas masks and put on the full gear and go out and play war with each other. And I did a lot of training there, but I just didn't really feel like I was in the thick of it, and I kept applying to go overseas. I didn't get picked up to go to Afghanistan or anything like that, but I did get to go to Germany. So the second duty station was in Germany. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to interject, because I'm being pretty brief about this. But
you're good.
Pardon me. So from there,
I have one question.
Sure.
Can you take a cough drop?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm
Pretty blunt,
kidding.
Kevin.
Continue. I know. Yeah. Anyway.
I would expect nothing less.
I know.
And I went to Armed Forces Network Europe, and that was the time of my life, because servicemen and women do not have American television or radio when they're stationed overseas. It may not be the first thing that comes to mind for people when they think about people getting stationed abroad, but you can't just turn on the TV and hear people speaking in English. So what the military does is intercept a couple of stations locally for television and radio and take them over. And we produce our own news broadcasts and radio broadcasts, and we entertain and inform service members who are stationed abroad. And it's a huge honor, and it's also tremendous fun and very high stress, because it is a full functioning local TV radio station, just like what you would have in the States. And I was in the morning going out and filming and producing a package for the news. In the afternoon, I might be producing a commercial that's going to air on the station. And then I had a 4-hour live radio show that I was hosting Europe-wide, or locally as well. It was local and Europe-wide, 2 different shows that I had. And we would, play the top 40 songs in the United States, and let servicemen and women know what's going on the base, what kind of opportunities are available to them, what kind of fun they can go have that weekend. A lot of the organizations offer trips just for service members so that they can explore Europe while they're stationed over there. And we would let them know all the fun things going on, and it just really felt like I was making a difference. It was so fun to do the contest live on the air and give things away to people, interact with them, have my own little Facebook page. And I just loved it, because I think that our servicemen and women are definitely the best people. Of course, I'm going to be biased because I served with them. But they deserve the best.
Yeah.
And then in the evenings, I even anchored sometimes the Armed Forces Network Europe report. So I was, a face on, smashed on television as well. So I think the unique thing about broadcasters in the military is that we're a catch-all. We know how to film, we know how to edit, we know how to write. We can do a live radio broadcast and then go be on a television broadcast 5 minutes later. Whereas what I see in the civilian sector is that people really narrow down a specialty. And it's like, I go to, currently I'm I'm working as a local producer, and you just see in the news that, people have their own photographer and that's all they do is just shoot. Then you've got people who they just edit. Then you've got people who they're just on camera talent and they write. So, I mean, it was an experience of a lifetime because I did so many different unique jobs, and there's tremendous amount expected of you as compared to the civilian force when it comes to that. And I say a lot. I need to stop that. So from there, I went to the Pentagon, and I worked. Yes, I worked in Washington, D.C. in the Pentagon for 2 years. And I should add that by then I had my little girl, Aubrey. She's 6 years old now. And I was essentially a single mom on active duty most of the time that I was serving. I had her very early on, and I was married for a brief time. But that didn't work out, and, such is life. And, I took her with me. And I got to say that she is, by definition, my little trooper, because this little girl was born in Germany, lived it with me in Washington, D.C. while I was working in the Pentagon. I went to work as a civilian for the Army after I worked in the Pentagon at West Point Military Academy in upstate New York, and she went with me there. So the unique thing to point out about the Pentagon is it's first off a joint service environment, meaning I'm working with and amongst people from every branch of the service, not just my little Air Force family. The other part of it is that I was actually working directly in the office for the Secretary of the Air Force, and I was the only broadcast journalist in that office. And what we did was put out the top news. So the biggest news that was going on in the military and the things that literally affect every man or woman currently serving on active duty or in, the Guard or Reserve, we knew what was going on before everyone else. And part of the public affairs mission in the military is to decide, what are we going to release to the public? What they need to know, what do we need to keep to ourselves? And to see some of the strategic meetings that go on in the Pentagon and to get an inside look at just how hard they are, going to attack the biggest issues in the military, and, some of those being, for example, sexual assault on the rise in the military, working very closely in rooms with 4-star generals who they are talking about these things. They get together and talk about these things and come up with plans and execute them. And to be a part of, seeing how they're going to make decisions for national security. These are things I've seen at a high level, and at the time under the Obama administration. And
don't say his name like that.
I just say it anyway. Okay.
I hear sexual assault on the rise. Kevin, I hear sexual assault on the rise at Fox News as well.
Yeah, but stay tuned for that. Touche, Russ. Touche. Now hold on, Jamie. Yeah. I gotta ask this. You before going to the Pentagon, you were living in Germany?
For 2 years, yeah.
Right. All right, so before the Pentagon. Now, these next two questions, well, actually, this first question is a yes or no. While you were over there, before coming back to the Pentagon, did you have any conversations with anybody in Putin's circle? It's a yes or no question. Okay.
No.
All right, and
I think you did.
Yeah, and is Julian Assange's cell number part of your Fave 5 on your? It is. See, tonight's show, Russ. Tonight's show is getting. We are probably lighting up every satellite because she's on our show tonight. Yeah, we got a feeling here. Anyways, but we're all about good radio, right? Yeah.
We're gonna have a bad tan and a toupee up our ass real fast.
See, here's what's cracking me up too, Jamie, is that before tonight, as we're talking offline or actually talking through Messenger about the show, you came across, you said you were, I think, nervous was one, which you don't sound, you're fine.
Oh yeah.
But you kind of gave me, but you also gave me the impression like you wouldn't have anything hardly to talk about. Can Russ and I have time to talk tonight?
Absolutely, of course.
I'm kidding.
Of course.
All right, so you're at the Pentagon. You're working for our side. You're working for the good guys, not the people
allegedly.
Allegedly. So how long Pentagon took you to? How long before you eventually came back home?
And hey, if I'm elaborating on things too much, please let me know. I don't want to bore anybody.
You're fine. You're fine.
So I did 6 years total active duty, and I would say ultimately my daughter was the reason I decided to separate from active duty.
Okay.
And it takes a lot of hard work to promote in the military, and at least in the Air Force. They kind of toss the rank out like candy and some of the other services, but it doesn't work that way in the Air Force. You got to test, you got to study thousands of pages of information about the Air Force and then go test on it. And that's in your career field plus just general Air Force knowledge. And at the time, my daughter was a baby. She was part of that still in diapers, and I was raising her by myself. And I just came to this conclusion that she was my priority. And it's like, if I'm going to study as much as I can, but I'm not going to exhaust myself and put myself to this point where it's like I'm sacrificing time with her to be great and promote and all these other things, when I just felt in my heart that if it didn't work out, that I would be taken care of. And I really believe that. And I did my best with what I had at the time and didn't, twice I tested for rank. Now, a lot of people test twice and don't make it. It's not unusual per se. But I decided, hey, instead of running myself into the ground and continuing on this, I'm going to see what else is out there. So while I was active duty, I did start applying for jobs. And at the time, I had no desire to move back home yet. I applied for government jobs. And sure enough, at West Point Military Academy, an opening just popped right up literally 3 months before I was set to separate from the military to be a video producer there. And I decided to apply for it. They called me 2 months later. I was interviewing for a few different jobs, but I was like, okay, from the Pentagon to West Point Military Academy, it's kind of like, all right, well, that makes sense. So they offered me the job after a 20-minute interview. And I decided I wasn't going to turn it down, and this was probably the right path for me. Now, when I got there, I can't say it was the best leadership I've ever had in my life. I'd say far from it. And there's no need to elaborate on that. But there are some things you get to be a part of that can change your whole career path. And for me, one of those was getting involved with our marketing department and getting to do marketing for West Point, the people who are responsible for getting cadets into West Point. And not to insult any listeners, I'm sure they know what West Point is, but I will point out that that is the hub for Army officers. I am not kidding you. And especially after being there, working with them, interviewing them, and just being on that campus, it is extremely rich in history. It's been there since the early 1900s. And the kids there, I call them kids, but really they're like 30-something people in like these little 18-year-old bodies who are incredibly mature and incredibly intelligent, the very best truly that the nation has to offer, who go there to eventually become officers in the U.S. Army. And I have nothing but respect for them. And one of the things I got to be involved with was a commercial for West Point that aired during Army-Navy football, which I'm sure many people know about. There was approximately 7 million people watching that commercial when it aired, and I co-produced that. I can't say that it was all me, but I think that it opened doors for me because I started really getting interested in marketing and commercials. So I found an opportunity in my hometown, and I took it, and I just decided, hey, I was ready to come back home, have a little more support as a single mom, be around my friends and family and people who love us, and kind of settle down somewhere finally. And so now that's what I'm doing. I do a lot of promotions and marketing videos. And since I've been here, there's a couple of accomplishments I can point out, nothing too crazy, but I did have one video I did that went viral, and I never thought I would top my West Point commercial, which had 7 million views, but I did. I had a social media video go viral and get 12 million views. And tell me
this is something. Tell me this is something that TMZ would have, posted on their site. No.
Oh, it was such a cushy, feel-good story. I hate to disappoint you. It's about a local teacher who has a classroom of Down syndrome students, and special ed teacher, obviously. But she invited the children to be in her wedding, and it was adorable. So the video did go viral. And
well, did you get paid for those 12 million views?
Oh, well, I mean, I get paid to do what I do. I'll leave
No.
it at that.
I'm talking about.
No, but
I'm
like,
talking about
as a YouTube partner,
right.
You're supposed to get like 1/3 of a cent per click after 1 million views.
Well, it actually was on Facebook, not YouTube.
Oh.
So, it, you know what? It can help you out regardless. It
Okay.
really does bring a lot of recognition to your organization. So, there was that. And then I am also currently nominated for Best On-Air Promotion of the Year by the Associated Press in Kentucky. And so I feel very proud of that because this is my first year working in non-military media. And, I didn't do high-end commercials or video production in the military. I really didn't. I was a broadcaster. So different world.
Throw that in our face.
I just did the math on that. I would call Zuckerberg and tell him he owes you $33,000.
Oh, man. I would love that.
Jamie,
I would love that payday.
Jamie, you said 20 minutes into your West Point interview you were offered. Is that what I heard, right?
You're correct, yeah.
Yeah. So, Russ, 20 minutes into this segment or into the show with us, what can we offer her?
I mean, some basic dude from Kentucky.
A
is about
shooting
all we
from
got.
the lip shirt. We have a shooting from the lip shirt. Yeah. All right.
You know what?
That's a start.
Believe it or not, that is why I'm here. I want my damn shooting from the lip T-shirt. Okay.
She's played the truth. The
very
truth
attainable goal.
Will set us. Yeah. Very. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're back home. You're working with the local people. That's
market.
Going well for you. Yeah. So obviously you're up for awards and stuff. So it sounds like things are going pretty well for, Jamie Jaggers, who added an S to her name sometime in her life. So good thing.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Russ, I think she does know this, but some of tonight's show, she's kind of auditioning to be like a SFTL contributor, kind of like, that The View from the right side, not to be confused with correct, right as in opposite of left.
And now here at the Shooting from the Lip Studios, we go to our war correspondent, Jamie, in the field. Jamie, how is it out there?
Yeah.
Jamie, it appears we've lost Jamie. She's under heavy fire.
I think that what we need to point out here, it's first of all that there are two of you and one of me. So let's just get that straight, okay? Let's be fair.
Which is generally, Russ, is this where I can reference anything from our past? Probably.
Well, let me let you know a little secret. See, I've been witnessing Jamie's energy here, and I can tell you that her energy is a lot different than whatever her mind's about to say. So we'll just start there.
Yeah, there you go.
And hey, before we move on to politics, there's one more thing I want to say about myself that I forgot to say.
Please.
I'm currently not taking this very seriously, okay, but I am a singer-songwriter and guitarist. And
really?
I've been doing music I've been doing that for literally 18 years. And I did play professionally while I was living in New York. And I am taking
my
Tuesday night show.
Yeah, my Tuesday night show is dedicated to local music. So, we need to cross paths there because that's my guilty pleasure in town is checking out the local music.
Yeah, I haven't established. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I haven't established myself in Louisville. I was establishing myself as an acoustic performing artist in upstate New York prior to moving here. And I do miss it quite a bit, but my job here is so much more demanding. And so that's currently my focus. I've also grown a lot as a video producer since I moved here. So that really is my focus right now. But I love the Tuesday night show. I've been listening in to some of the musicians that you've had. I listened last week, and I love local music, and I would love to join you guys and maybe just sing a couple songs at an open mic and break the ice, get myself back out there for that.
We can arrange that.
His Wednesday night show involves sitting on the couch in his underwear watching the Mindy Project and eating ice cream.
No, I've never watched that show. No. Anyway. Okay. Well, that's Jamie Jaggers. We got Personal 411. Got the lowdown. She's doing well in her profession now with the marketing, producing, work and congratulations, continued success. But now we get to move on to segment 2 of the show. And Russ, this is kind of like Russ's segment because I get to throw topics out at Russ. And I generally try to have someone on to kind of challenge Russ a little bit. And tonight, Russ.
So far, he hasn't had anyone.
Yes. So, Jamie, we're going to let Jamie just stay on, and she gets to, it's a 2-for-1. It's like, 2-for-1 tonight, Jamie. So, the 2-for-1 thing is So, talking politics. One of the hot takes. You obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a Trump supporter, correct? Let's get it out.
Not real fervent one, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you're dancing around this one.
So I think
Are you flip-flopping like
to point out?
You're flip-flopping like he's been doing lately too.
I'm not flip-flopping. A pause is not flip-flopping. I just want to point out that, according to the little fucking like Facebook questionnaires and, the different little things that you can do online, I'm a conservative-leaning libertarian technically, okay? Now, I don't think Trump is a true conservative. I'm sorry. I just don't. But,
Russ has said that numerous times.
I support him. Yeah, I agree with him then. He's not a freaking like super right-wing president. And, it seems that way because his supporters are pretty vehemently supporting him. And it does feel extreme, to a lot of people. But I don't think he is that per se. He is not, Mr. Perfect Republican.
Let me add to that. When you say his supporters are supporting him, let's add to that is that his hardcore supporters are supporting him because according to polls, and these are the same polls that polled the first 100 days of Obama, Bush, Clinton, at 40% or around 40%, his approval ratings are at an all-time low. So I'm going to let you first answer or respond to that as far as how do you think the United States is perceiving him or responding to him in the first 100? Then Russ will jump in. Go ahead, Jane.
Sure. Well, I'm probably going to disappoint you with this answer, but my honest answer here, I think first of all, the polls are about as accurate as a tarot card. Just like, these are the same polls that said he would never win. And, supposedly, there are polls saying that Trump maintains 96% of his winning base. So you're telling me he's at about a 40% approval rating.
Right.
Am I correct? Is that what you said? So
Correct.
What that comes down to, that means they're polling about 24% Republicans then. That's the math. And, like
they're not even calling the trailer park, Kevin.
And, I'm going to maintain my dignity and not make any personal stabs. I know that that's typical reaction of the left. So I'm not going to take that personally. I don't live in a trailer park. I actually just purchased my first home as a single mom last year.
That's actually a joke for comedy, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess I caught that part. I didn't laugh because I'm a very intelligent woman who makes plenty of money and doesn't live in a trailer park, and I voted for him. So there you go. There's my answer.
There are outliers in every crowd.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Do you have any evidence to suggest that most people who voted for Trump live in a trailer park? Because I don't know any.
Well, you might be taking that a little too literal. That was a joke. It was
literal.
Like a meme. Yeah, it was a meme. Memes are not exactly the truth. They're just kind of point towards the truth.
Exactly. Gotcha.
All right. So, Russ, take us, when it comes to the approval rating, assuming we're going on the assumption that 40% is somewhat accurate, what's been your take so far of the Donald?
I think he is a puppet for whichever side of the Illuminati won whatever bet they made on the election. Just like Hillary Clinton would have been a puppet, just like Barack Obama was a puppet. These are spokespeople. These are people that are paid. Look at it like this. These are entertainers on the highest level. I mean, she was mentioning earlier about how news personalities, some of them are just a talent. Well, the ones that are the best are just a talent because they focus their energy on that talent. So here we have people who like to be in the public eye. They like to, raise people's emotions, raise people's energy on, a myriad of things. And that's what they do. I'll give Trump this. He's just a little more transparent because anybody who knows anything about politics knows that Trump is, there is no doubt. I mean, it's very verifiable how often he's playing golf, how often he's going to Mar-a-Lago, how often he's doing pep rallies in cities. He's real transparent on that. Most presidents can't get away with that. He's able to do it because he's started a campaign to discredit the media right off the bat. So, now everybody's like, well, what the fuck? Can't we believe this media or that media or it's all fake news? I mean, he has started the meme of fake news way back, not because he thinks it's fake news or he doesn't think it's fake news. His intention, you got to look at the bigger picture. His intent was to discredit the media so that he could just be a little more transparent, be a delegate, just delegate shit to people that he decides to put in, conservative people he decides to put into power. He's doing very little. I mean, people are pulling the strings behind him, and he's just playing a role, in my opinion. And I think I think when people hear that, they know on some level that, wow, that's probably pretty accurate.
Any rebuttal, Jamie, before I move on?
No, I really do think I said my piece regarding that. Like I said, and I will reiterate, the polls are as accurate as a tarot card or a freaking 8-ball. I just don't care. I support him. I haven't seen anything that's making me freak out or want to run in the other direction. And I know plenty of people who feel the same way that I do. Not really.
Finger chili.
Yeah.
Finger chili isn't that bad.
Let's go to the next subject, and I'm sure that I'll say some things that make you smile. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, I'm counting on it. In these 100 days, during his campaign, after the campaign, he had the contract for the people that in the first 100 days he was going to, do all of these things, and then this is where. Someone clearly, I don't think he has a best friend, because if he has a best friend or had, his best friend would say, Don, stop fucking tweeting. You are contradicting shit that you said or did back in the day. The stuff that you said to win, to get people to come out and vote for you, you're now contradicting. So, he put out the tweet about and he's great at this. He's taking a shot at the media. He made, and I'm paraphrasing here, how the media is so hell-bent on this 100-day thing, when in fact there's plenty of video, there's plenty of audio, whatever, of him promising to do all this in 100 days. So I guess the question is, you've not seen or felt that he's flip-flopping on a lot of things? Mexico paying for the wall. I don't know what else I can, but seriously, as a supporter, do you not see or how he's now saying or budget or the repeal and replace that whole Affordable Care Act is actually hard, according to him. It was going to be easy,
right?
Now it's hard. So my thing is that shouldn't someone just kind of reel him in, or are you okay with this off the cuff back and forth show that we're getting, because it is Apprentice DC in mind.
Well, let's just start with a couple of the subjects that you mentioned. First of all, whether or not Mexico pays for the wall. I mean, that's all dependent on whether Mexico goes, yeah, sure, we'll pay for it. And I think we all know that wasn't going to happen. So I don't really give a shit.
Now see, this is Jamie. This is where I'm gonna hold on. This is where I have to. This is where I struggle, because this is what I'm hearing now. When Trump says something, but the conservative people or the Republicans, or in this case, Jamie Jaggers, is saying, well, he said that, but what he really meant. Why are people having to, explain to the world, U.S. or the world, that he said this, but what he really meant was that happens a lot. And that's what you're doing right now. But go ahead.
We are talking. Okay. I'm a realist. Okay,
I know.
I'm not one of those blind Trump supporters who's just gonna think that he's an expert on everything out the gate, because we're talking about a reality TV star. Okay, so did he really know on the campaign trail exactly how things were going to go down? Probably not. Okay, once he got into the White House, I'm sure there was a reality check. And my common sense, being a service member and a person who's been a part of, things that involve national security and being a part of conversations, I can't say I've ever been directly involved with anything that directly related to immigration per se, but I do think, come on. Mexico was never going to raise their hand and be like, yeah, we'll pay for it. That's just not going to happen. And I think, a lot of the estimates broken down were like, it's $112 per person in America, per working person, should I say, in America, who's going to end up paying for it. Big deal. I'd write a check for $112 right now if it meant the wall was going to go up. I don't care. It's not even that much money when you break it down to that.
All right, Russ.
I don't see it as flip-flopping.
You do not. But his campaign was his rallies. He would lead the rally call. Who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico. I mean, that was the Russ, jump in, because I know your whistle is wet. Russ's whistle is wet.
No,
yeah.
Not at all. No,
No?
Honestly, you'd be surprised to find out that I haven't so much as posted. You pretty much follow. You see my Facebook posts and my stuff like that. I haven't posted anything about this in, I want to say, 4 weeks or something, because I'm over it. I mean, I remember being in Frankfurt maybe 3 or 4 weeks after 2 or 3 weeks after the election, and there was a rally down at Frankfurt, and I was behind a couple of trucks that had in like white shoe polish Trump train on the back of their pickup trucks. And it occurred to me earlier today, right before we talked on the show, I was like, you know what? You're on the Trump train. You're going to be on it when it wrecks. And the Trump train is going to wreck, man. I don't think it's not a controversial statement to say that this guy is going to screw the pooch. I mean, a lot of people think he already has, but there is no way this guy doesn't derail himself. There's no way I haven't checked the Vegas odds right when he got elected, or about a couple weeks after he got elected, I checked. Actually, Vegas doesn't make odds on political candidates. However, European countries do. So I checked the London betting odds, and it was 50-50 for him to get impeached in the first 4 years. It was 50. I mean, so in other words, it's not biased, because they're setting odds, and the way a bookie works is they want 10,000 people to bet one way, 10,000 people to bet the other way, so that whoever loses pays the 10% juice. So they're just going for the juice. So they try to get that line exactly right. There's no bias. It was 50-50 for him to get impeached in the first 4 years. I haven't checked it in a while, but I'm guessing it's probably not 50-50 anymore. I'm going to guess that it's probably, it went a little bit towards the you got to lay more money that he will make, or that he will make it. No, I'm saying it wrong. You got to bet more money that he will get impeached to win now. In other words, the odds are not 50-50. It's probably closer to
1-2,
55-45 or something. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So and the reason I say that is because that demonstrates that objectively, people who don't have any emotions invested in this are saying, "Yep, this guy's going to fuck it up." And it's in his nature. He's going to fuck it up. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. I'm not rooting for him to fuck it up. I just think that
I don't want
person that observes the situation, a reasonable person observing the situation is going to see that he doesn't have enough charisma, couth, and level-headedness to not fuck stuff up. So, I'm wishing him luck.
Well, all right.
Looking bad.
We do. I mean, as a citizen, I want the best for us, for you, for Jamie, for everybody. But here's another example, Jamie. He was on. He was a fan of WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. Now, Trump's team is out to get him.
Right. Well, first, I
clear your throat. Clear your throat before you ask. Yeah, go ahead.
Before I address Assange, I do want to reply, because I think it's important to note that, as you didn't really talk about the wall. It's kind of funny, because when you try to have any kind of conversations with somebody on the left versus somebody on the right, it's like, well
let's be clear. I'm pro Second Amendment.
I'm not going to directly comment.
Well, I'm not going to interrupt, because I'm not on the left. I'm actually, I've only voted for Republican presidents. I voted for George Bush 1 and George Bush 2, and those are the last two presidents I voted for. Mainly because I traveled around and it was just too inconvenient. And in Kentucky this time, I was like, you know what, it's not going to matter. I'm just not going to be bothered. So yeah, I'm not on the left. I'm pro 2A. I own just a slew of guns. I'm very, I'm about a meritocracy. I'm more of a libertarian that understands that having a progressive mindset is what. Let's just look at the word conservative and progressive. Conservative means you want things to stay pretty much the same. You want to protect your traditions. You want to protect, you think that there's merit in protecting these things. Well, a true libertarian has no time for that kind of nonsense. A true libertarian just wants to be able to do their thing without anybody affecting their personal space and their personal rights, which is perfectly fine and good. A progressive wants to give back and have a tide that raises all boats. A conservative doesn't want that. They're me first and me specifically on my traditions and values. Libertarian is me first, but I don't give a shit about your traditions and values. I just want me and if you're going to have a car, pay a usury tax to use the road. That's what a libertarian will say. So yeah, I'm not on the left by any means. I'm a clear-thinking, free-thinking person. So there was no tactic there whatsoever. I don't talk about the wall because of all the ideas that Trump has. That's one of the most nonsensical. And even people, there's been no movement on that, and there probably won't be any movement because how many tunnels do you think there are right now? From Mexico to the United States. You've seen CNN, you've seen the Learning Channel. How many tunnels do you think are they? Why don't they, before they build the wall, they better put out a tunnel elimination task force, because that would be stupid to build a wall with a bunch of tunnels, wouldn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say that he isn't building a task force, because they are really cracking down on how many ICE agents there are. So
a tunnel elimination task force.
Maybe, because they're adding literally, I think
Jamie.
1/3 was the amount
that
of
was another
ICE
joke
that are being added.
That was another joke, though. I like how you take my jokes so literally. Because I just think that when you say that the wall isn't literal, he built a campaign on the idea. Okay, let's be honest. Well, that doesn't. And how does that affect? I didn't say literal. I said it's not serious. Nobody takes it serious. So yeah, you just kind of convicted him. You said, oh, he built a campaign on this. Yeah, but I don't think it's a controversial statement to say that no one is really taking it serious right now. So you're right. He built a campaign on shit that nobody's taking serious. I agree with you 100%. I'm glad you made that point.
I take him seriously. I think he's going to build it. I really do. You can laugh at me all you want. I don't care, but I think he's going to build the thing, because we're talking about, you can laugh as much as you want, but we are talking about a New York developer here, businessman,
We're not laughing at you, Jamie.
Laughing with you.
Yeah, see, you're laughing right now. So,
moving on.
Moving on. All right. Let's see what's next. One other topic that's come up. Well, I tell you what, I want to wait. Let me hold that thought. Jamie, you had messaged me some of your kind of topics of choice, and
right.
Instead of using one of those topics, I want to throw a person out or a figure. Jamie, what's your take on Ann Coulter?
I just finished one of her books.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Go ahead.
I just finished one of her books. I thought it was great. And, with that said, regardless of what I think of Ann Coulter, she's an American citizen. Free speech is vital to our way of life in the United States. And the way that she's being attacked at Berkeley is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And we are seeing a lot of universities blocking conservative speakers from being able to come on campus. And literally, studies are showing 54% of public universities and 59% of private universities have free speech zones. And other places where speech is monitored and we can't say things that offend people and we need safe spaces, which in my opinion doesn't really prepare anyone for true freedom and the real American society, and things like this podcast where we openly offend one another and no one gives a shit, because that's real life. So the fact that she's being, put through the ring and just made to jump through 1,000 hoops and then still getting denied to be able to come and speak on campus, and to have these dumb thugs, dressing up in all black and putting on a mask and coming out and throwing explosives and treating people like total crap and trying to block a speaker that they don't like. It's completely unconstitutional and un-American, and it makes me sick. That's what I have to say about it.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah,
I totally agree. And Jamie, one of Russ and one of our favorite guys is Bill Maher, which I'm guessing because you're an Ann Coulter fan. You're probably not on the Bill. You're probably not on the Bill Maher train. But what I'm trying to get to is that Ann and Bill are. I mean, they like each other. Ann has been on his show lots of times, and it's basically they agree to disagree. But it's
we with him, I think.
Well,
kind of
but
like
my
the
point
three
is,
of us right now.
so far, yeah. So, Russ, other than the Berkeley thing, Russ, what is your quick take on Ann? Do you think she's too far out there, or
I don't
are
mind
you okay
Ann.
with
Ann's transparent. She's transparent. She says
I
things
totally
and
agree.
she puts it out there. I mean, she's obviously got an agenda, but I mean, it's I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem with it. Believe it or not, I don't have much of a problem with Milo Yiannopoulos. There are things that I agree with Milo Yiannopoulos about. I mean, I think he's an intelligent person. I think he got carried away because I mean, what happens when people try to be entertainment news is they get into character too much, and they just you get into a zone where you just, and sometimes you can take it too far. And I think
segue, Russ.
He's gotten to a zone where he's taking it too far.
All right.
Segue into
nice segue.
Milo?
Nice segue. No, not into Milo.
I have to jump in.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I only have one quick comment I want to jump in with. And you mentioned Bill Maher, and that's the only reason I have to say I have to quote him because he said something so funny the other night on his show. He said Berkeley used to be the cradle for free speech, which is true in history. We can see that many protests began for free speech on the Berkeley campus, and he said it's now the cradle for fucking babies. And I thought that was so funny that I laughed till I cried. Go ahead.
You think it's true, Russ?
I mean, I actually, Kevin, and this is part of my something that I've always believed, but now that I'm a little more centered, I can see it even more. I dislike the extreme right and the extreme left equally. They are both.
I know you do.
I know you do. Movements. Yeah, they are both movements that want to. They are both selfish movements because they are very strict and rigid and want it their way. They're the further you get out from center, the more of a baby someone is. So if you're not, when you're in the center, you understand. It's like, okay, I may feel this way, but other people don't feel this way. So I'm an adult and I'm going to navigate through this in the best way possible, and do me, but not tread on anyone else. That's what the center is. Now, what happens is people think that the center keeps moving. The center goes too far one way, the center goes too far the other way. That's what it is. The people on the extreme left and the extreme right are the big anchors in the tug of war, which is policy. So the anchors at the end, they're the biggest, burliest people, and they're trying to pull the hardest. So you got and they're going to be dirty. They're going to dig in. They're going to pull. They're going to crawl and scrape, while the guys in the in the center are just kind of, this is fun. Let's just pull. It's fine. But no, I mean that's fine in a tug of war. But in real life, fuck the people on the end. Fuck the extreme right wing Christians, and fuck the extreme left wing liberals. Fuck them both. And I hope they all become obsolete and unnecessary.
Yes.
Well, I do have to call you out a little bit on something, because you agreed with me earlier tonight in the show when I said that President Trump is not an extreme right Republican. He's just not. He doesn't fit the mold. And
you're right.
We know that because he's been divorced multiple times. He's married to a fucking supermodel. He's been a reality TV star. He sends out a dozen tweets at midnight in a freaking emotional storm.
I'm following you,
but it's like. Well,
where
you
just headed?
said that anybody on the extreme right or on the extreme left is, flat out wrong. Well, you agree that President Trump is not either of those things. So why?
No, but I also dislike con men, and I have not met one Trump supporter, not one, that if we talk for over 10 minutes, that will not coalesce and say, yeah, he is a con man.
How is he a con man, though? Like, can you be more specific?
Jamie, I can be real specific. Because, number one, he's an opportunist. He's a self-promoter. He's laughing because he knows that any person, you're way smarter than most of the people who say, yeah, he is kind of a con man. So I know you're going to agree.
And prettier, too, right?
He's an opportunist. He's a self-promoter. He self-promotes and he's an opportunist. He actually had a exploratory committee done like 8 years before he even ran to see where he would have the better opportunity as a Democrat or Republican, because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care.
Right.
He would have just, if that exploratory committee, or if the cards would have fell in a certain way that were to where if he was pro-choice and wanted a liberal Supreme Court and all that, he would be doing it right now. He does not have any convictions. Maybe those 2 Corinthians influenced him as a child, but I doubt it. So he's. I mean, that's another. I know you take my jokes literally. That's another joke saying that he doesn't know shit about the Bible, and he said nobody reads the Bible more than him. Every other utterance out of his mouth, every tweet out of his mouth is just a calculated misdirection con job, and you know this. You're in the media. You see it. Well, I mean, I don't know if you're just getting some kind of royalties for being on his team or not. I mean, there are people who will eat finger chili even if the finger's in there because they said they like chili in the first place. But I can tell you that on some basic level that this man is a con man. You know it. And nothing you can say here, no words you could possibly utter will betray the energy that you know that this man is a con man.
Your energy,
I just think
Jamie.
We
feel it, Russ.
I think that he's very unorthodox. No shit. No Trump supporter out there is going to say he isn't. But we need to also, okay, if they really are willing to say that he isn't unorthodox, they're in some kind of crazy denial. Okay, so yes, we definitely agree on that. And
here's what most people say. You just said what most people say. Oh, go ahead and add.
I'm sorry. Did you have something else to say?
No, let her talk.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead.
I like Jay.
But, he clearly struck a nerve with real voters. We can't say he didn't. And I think that
whoa. Let's hold that thought, Jamie, because the consensus is when you say he struck a nerve with the real voters, he still was on the negative by 3 million? How many millions? Yeah, I know that was supposed to be voter fraud. He was going to investigate that, but he's not doing that now. But, the popular vote, he won on a technicality, not by popularity. Just saying.
It's a technicality that's been around for decades.
But when you say he struck a chord with the voters, no, if you take the voter count, he was in the negative. So just let's go. Well, hold on. I got a couple more topics I'm gonna throw at you before I got my music guys coming on. And Jamie, I do want you to hang with me.
I was gonna say one last thing, Kevin. One last thing was that most Trump supporters, what they'll say is, and I respect these Trump supporters quite a bit, is they'll say, yeah, you're right. He's a con man. No question. He's a used car salesman, carnival barker. You're right. However, I hate Hillary, or they'll say Hillary. I almost looked up and said Hillary. I hate Hillary, and this guy's the only choice I got to support, at least what he at least pretends to believe what I believe in. So I got to go with him. So that's the honest answer. Now, to a smart person, to an intellectual person, they'll say, well, that's not exactly intellectually honest. But it is intellectually honest because they're like, yeah, I hate that other chick for a myriad of cultural reasons and other reasons, and this guy's at least pretending to like what I like, so I'm going with that. So
I have to respond to that. I have to
God, you all stop playing tennis.
I'll be very quick because I'm going to agree with Russ. As a marketing person, as a person whose job is to make things click with people literally and figuratively, I read articles on the marketing platform that he created, okay? But this is also something that every politician does, okay? I mean, liberals will attack some Democratic leaders who say things like, well, I don't approve late-term abortion because it's unpopular or whatever, and they'll change viewpoints just to get the votes. This isn't unusual. This is politics, and this is smart marketing. So he ran one of the most fascinating marketing campaigns that ever existed, and I'm not going to disagree with him for even a second on that as a person who does marketing for a living. I mean, it's kind of like, well, no shit, of course, he's a politician, and let's not pin that all on Trump. That's something every politician and even Obama did. And Hillary tried but failed.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
No comment.
They were a little better.
Russ. They were a little better being what. You just had. All right. You guys are familiar with Alex Jones. He's the InfoWars. Blah blah blah. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, he's probably one of your heroes, Jamie. What do you mean? Oh. Anyways, this guy, he is so far on the right. So far. where, and I find this right here, because Russ, you had mentioned something about Milo. I forgot what your exact words were, but I said that was a nice segue. Where you got someone like Alex Jones, who is just intense. He's on the right. He's defending. He's hanging on every Trump word. He's just to the extreme. Now he's going through a suit or a court thing with his ex-wife on custody. His lawyers in defense of him played the Alex Jones that you see on or hear on the radio or TV, whatever, is a performance artist. That's not him. And then when the lawyers did that, Jones himself actually had to come out on social media. Actually, he did videos. That's not what. No, he actually argued that his lawyers were doing their thing, and that's not him, because he's afraid of losing his audience. His audience being the guys that listen to Ted Nugent and Kid Rock during the day in their pickup trucks, right, Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling me, okay? Which happened to be at the White House the other day. What's your take, Jamie, on a guy like Alex Jones who, 9/11 was an inside job. Sandy Hook was a hoax.
Right.
That's all right. What's your take on him, Robert?
You said he might be one of my heroes. No, I have no clue who the guy is.
Okay.
I've never watched any of his videos, but I have seen some of these things popping up in the media about him. And this is what I'll say. They're gonna go after the guy, right? But even they are calling him a conspiracy theorist, which means he's talking about theories. He can't technically prove any of this shit. So he has every right to say, "Well, I'm just a performing artist because look, you're calling me a conspiracy theorist." I mean,
but he doesn't want his hardcore audience to think that it's a show. He's saying that. That's him. When we all know it's a show, I think it's a show.
Do we? People will do a lot of things to gain some popularity and to make a buck. Okay.
You're right. I'm like tonight. I strive every podcast to win over a zip code. Each zip code in Kentucky is my nightly goal, and I think tonight we're on a roll, Russ. Jamie has added some flair, some zest. Russ, I know you got shit.
Absolutely.
Russ, what are you doing? You're quiet. Talk.
Let me make a prediction. Just like our buddy Sean or Brad, I think Brad might have blown a gasket. But Sean, just like our buddy Sean, the more she's on with me, the more she's going to be like, yeah, okay, fine. And she's going to be like, okay, she's not going to come right out and say it, but she's going to be like, he just makes too much damn sense. Russ just makes too much sense. And I'm not going to agree with him, but I'm not going to argue with him anymore.
It's a good thing I'm not too much of a feminist or anything like that, or else I might call that comment pretty sexist. But I'm just going to start bowing down.
That's only because you're perceiving it as a woman. I didn't say it to a woman. I said it to an audience. When snowflakes, let me give you a lesson, Miss Liberal. When snowflakes perceive something from their own point of view, that's when they get all butthurt. If they understand that if someone's saying something just in general and they don't take it from their own very skewed perspective, So yeah, it's just like a liberal.
All right. Before Russ, I know you've got things you need to do, but I got one last topic I want to throw out here, and I'll let Jamie start, and then Russ, you chime in. Jamie, this religious liberty bill seems to be near and dear. Tell me your feelings on it.
Well, let's give a little bit of information for anybody listening about it, right?
Okay.
I guess some Republicans are pushing for Donald Trump to sign an executive order that would scale back some protections for gays and lesbians put in place by President Obama. And I think that some of what that is, people are citing religious liberty with that because, for example, we have people who, let's say a lesbian couple is getting married and they want to get their wedding cake from whatever bakery they feel like in their town. And the lady who's running the bakery says, well, I'm a Christian and I don't believe that, gay marriage should be allowed. And I don't think I should have to make this cake for you. This is the type of thing that this bill relates to. And this is where we really start to get sensitive, obviously, Because again,
your comments there, Jamie, you don't even realize it. Russ has something to do, but you played the religious card tonight. Russ is just going to have to. Oh my God.
Hey, Kevin, I just came up with a great joke. I'm going to start writing my joke down, Kevin, because I've been told that my comedy is pretty good. I just came up with a great joke. You know why religious people don't want to make gay wedding cakes, don't you?
Wow.
Please,
because they expect a whole different kind of cream filling.
Now, Jamie, with that said, and I'm gonna get your quick comment, and I'm gonna turn it over to Russ. We talked about, Russ brought up the betting line, what in England about Trump getting impeached, whatever. Should that happen, and number two comes to the forefront, a guy in Pence who is a religious nut when it comes to his life, his way of thinking. What's your take if somebody like Pence, who would choose, prayer over stem cell research? What would your view be on that?
I don't know exactly what context you're speaking in, because you just kind of changed the whole subject on me, because I don't know what you mean by prayer versus stem cell.
Well, Russ, can you
elaborate?
Elaborate for me, Russ. I know you can.
On what we're juxtaposing prayer and stem cell research?
Well, Pence is his whole religious
one
views.
Will cure disease. Well, if we're juxtaposing prayer and religious and stem cell research,
there you go.
One will actually save children and save and help children who have burns over 90% of their body. The other one is talking to yourself in your head. That's a juxtaposition there.
That's kind of He said it a little more clear than me. So, Jamie, are you okay if number two step became number one? Would you be okay with Pence running the show?
I mean, I'm not even going to speak to that. I'll speak to the example that I brought up.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I think it's valid to say, you may not agree with Christianity. You may not think, God is real, whatever. You have every right to believe that way. But a person also has every right to believe otherwise. And, it is tough when we get between, for example, with the cake. Should the lady have to bake the cake for the lesbian couple if she's a Christian and she doesn't condone the marriage or whatever? I'm sorry, I don't think she should have to. Because even if even if you think she's a bigot, which you have every right to believe, and hell, free speech, you can even tell her that, because this is the United States of America. But you can't make a small business do something just because you feel like that person owns that business. Imagine starting a business, working from the ground up, starting with nothing, working your ass off, getting it to a point. It's like you should be able to run that shit how you want, hire who you want, and do work for who you want. Now there are laws that govern certain things. But, and again, I apologize for getting off course here with the stem cell stuff. I don't know exactly where you're going with it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This is where I think a person's religious beliefs shouldn't stop them from being in a certain position in office. Do I think it should stop Pence? No. Just because he's a Christian, he shouldn't get to be the vice president? Hell no. No. That's your reason you didn't vote for him. But
no. Yeah, no, in no way am I.
All presidents have been Christians. All presidents have been Christians. I think Kevin's point was,
I don't know
we
about
haven't
Obama,
had that
but
many.
Okay.
That's way beneath you. I mean, that's really way beneath you, Jamie. Honestly, I mean, I'm serious. That's the first time I've been serious all night. That's just weird. But anyway, all Christians have. Trust me, there's been a lot less Christian presidents than Obama in office. But lots of people always have to say they're Christian because the most hated group is atheist. But anyway, he's juxtaposing Mike Pence as a whack job, like a wackadoodle Christians that think that gay conversion therapy, you can pray the gay away or something like that. And just as a point of order, most of the people who don't like to make gay wedding cakes are okay with the lesbian ones, mainly because they don't prefer any cream filling. They don't like any cream filling whatsoever.
I gotta say that the cream-filled donuts at Krispy Kreme are my heaven. I'm just saying. I will drive out there at midnight to get a Krispy Kreme cream-filled donut.
Jamie,
hot and ready, baby, hot and ready.
Jamie, will you to steal a line from the movie Varsity Blues? And I forgot the character's name. He was the big guy, but I'm gonna say it. Will you go prom with me? God love her. She's killing it tonight. All right. I have to, Russ, wrapping up this segment because I've got other people who want to come and play with us tonight. Russ, what are you getting ready to do? Are you done for the night? Were we saying good night to you or what?
Yeah, I actually got some work to do and a couple other little things to knock out, and plus it's it's an early morning, so I'm going to make like a baby and head out, and I'm off like a can of bug spray. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Well, nice. Yeah. Anyways, good segment, Russ. I'll be in touch. You still owe me a birthday celebration, bruh. So I look
Absolutely.
forward to
I'm gonna just get you Schlitterbahn next time we go out.
On
is
IPAs.
That German for drunk? You were in Germany, Jamie. Schlitterbahn? Did I just make that up?
No, you didn't make it up. It's legit.
Yeah.
All right.
I bet you Jamie's got that whole double agent thing going on, which is kind of hot. Don't you agree, Russ? All right, Russ. Love you long time, Russ.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to say,
you, Russ.
Nice to meet you, Jamie. Hail Trump.
Yeah. Hail Trump. All right.
I've got my mega hat on.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Russ. Russ is over and out. Russ, take care. Much love, bro. I'll be in touch.
Later.
All right. Jamie, baptism by fire kind of thing tonight. You still good?
I'm great. I'll keep it
All right.
going.
Well, hang with me because now you're going to be my guest co-host for the rest of the night. And we'll talk more. But I'm turning on the mics of two of my brothers from another mother, Kevin McCreery. Kevin, did you wake up?
Yeah, I was here. I was just waiting to call in, and every time I tried to call in, Rahul kept calling me, trying to ask me if I was calling in.
And Rahul Borkar, who's again two music guys, Jamie, that I've come to know and love. I mean, these cats are just awesome. Jamie was my check us out, guys. Jamie was my guest on the first segment at 10:05. She's still going strong at 11:26 with us, so that's got to say something, right?
All right. Well, the first question is,
First
question is does she have pants on?
Yeah, that was Did you?
Can you hear me?
You were part. Jamie. Do you have pants on, Jamie?
We really need to fill in the audience right now because
obviously
this is your friend who posted earlier saying, did you know, and I don't want to quote this directly because I don't have it open, but he was like, did you know that you can record you can do an entire podcast interview without pants on? And I was like, you know what? I think that's an excellent idea, and I will neither confirm nor deny whether or not I'm wearing pants.
Bullshit. Totally bullshit.
Well, that's just no fun.
Exactly.
I am not wearing pants, just like I never have any other time that I've been on this show.
Never.
Why? Because I can. That's why.
Because you can.
Nobody knows.
Now, Jamie, Rahul, stop hanging up. And what are you doing, buddy?
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Right. I can hear you. Now, here's some history with these guys, Jamie. Kevin McCreery, local music legend, and don't even interrupt me. Guitarist with Uncle Cracker. He's got his own band, Avant Garde Dog, Velvet Saints. This guy is he's not just a fucking talented musician. He's a even more beautiful person. This guy, I can say, with all my heart, I love this guy. It's true. And Saturday night, Kevin, Rahul were part of my birthday celebration. So from me to you guys, I sincerely appreciate you guys hanging out with me. That meant a lot. It really did.
That was a good time. That was a good time.
And I can't believe that you're opening up and saying it was your 50th birthday, Kevin, because I would have never guessed a day over 40.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I would have never
guessed
a day over 40 ever.
I'm realistic. I'm not going to live to be 100. So I'm on the back side of life, and I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to have fun with it. And these guys.
Well, I think,
go ahead.
Saturday might have taken out 10 years of your life. I don't know.
We did it for a few years. We had a good time. Yeah. But I'm bringing these guys on, Jamie, because these guys do original music, and as much as I love the music scene here, I will always gravitate to musicians who can do their own thing. And wait till I turn you on to their music, Jamie, because this stuff is killer. And what I found out tonight, guys, too, Jamie's got how many years of music history with you? 18? Did you say 18 years, Jamie?
Yeah. That's.
And she's looking for
doing the math in my head.
bands. She's looking for bands or something that she can get back into the music thing. So wait, guys, I'm going to interact. We'll get her. We'll baptize her later with you guys. But yeah. So let's start with Kevin. You all had the CD release not too long ago. Saturday, April 15th at Diamond Pub. You guys got to do the Avant-Garde Dog gig. Share that experience. Yep. What was that like for you?
Oh, it was awesome. It was finally good to actually, after making the CD, I made the CD available actually in September at CatFest thing, but it was, this was kind of our official release party, just like Rahul's was, but it was just awesome to just be able to play the stuff live, and try to work the bugs out because, up until this point, it's been, Avant-Garde Dog is a project, not a band. It's right. Me and Chip. And then it's just whoever else we bring into playing live, And so, not saying it won't turn into a definite core group and make it a band someday. I just don't know. But it was just fun to, we got my buddy Mark Hubry that plays in the Dark Side of the Wall, Pink Floyd tribute, and he also plays with Wicked Sensation, who I think they just changed their name to FM.
Yeah, I did hear that.
And
yeah.
Mark is just a great musician all the way around too. He's not just a drummer, and there's nothing wrong with just being a drummer. Hell, I know a lot of great drummers, but Mark is just a really musical person. He sits behind a piano and just goes crazy, and he picks up my guitar and goes crazy and starts playing Yes songs, and and he plays bass, and dude just has music all over him. And that's I love playing with people like that, If I can always be the weakest link in the band, I think we're off to a pretty good start, and so, when you have really good musical people around you, that's very inspirational. I'm a fairly decent musician, been at it my whole life, but, to actually find people that can, translate what I put on a recording and probably do it better, or at least as good as I heard it in my head. That's just, to me, that's magical because I'm pretty damn picky, to say the least, about the people I surround myself with. So, but it was a great night. I mean, my God, I was just so thankful that all of our, a lot of local musicians that weren't playing that night showed up to see us, and a lot of friends, obviously, and this is probably one of the first shows where I've actually played my own music, where I looked out and I actually saw people singing the lyrics.
Singing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you realize
like that?
Do you realize
a feeling that's just unmatched?
Exactly. Do you realize how far Louisville music would have been set back if ISIS, got involved that night? I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. I'm fucking joking. But, I mean, really, to a credit to you guys, there was like a
lot of musicians there, man.
Yes.
I had a beard, so people got scared.
Yeah.
I did have a beard. I had a beard. Yeah, buddy.
Raul, you were. This was your first gig in how many years?
It was my first gig in 3 years.
3, yeah. And which you killed it, loved it.
Before that was about an hour and a year, yeah.
Yeah. So what was the night like for you?
It was surreal. It was from the get-go. It was just literally like, I mean, not to sound like a weirdo, but it was just like hug after hug after hug after hug with people that I hadn't seen in a long time. And it just really felt like a big party and like a reunion. And then I met a lot of new people that that heard the stuff and then came out to catch the show. So being on stage for the first time as just a singer, no guitar or anything like that, was also something that was pretty awesome. And man, it was a really special night because I know Kevin and I were talking about this. The original scene here has seemed to get had gotten quiet for a little bit, and a lot of the guys that have been really big in the original music scene before, they're still playing, but they're doing a lot of the cover stuff. And I know I got a few comments from people being like, "Hey, watching you and Kevin on stage tonight made me miss being in a real, being in a writing original music band." And I really hope that, like, even just if to see that Kevin and I can still do it, that a lot of the musicians here can do it, even if it's not like, you don't have to play every week, but even if it's once every couple months, I would love to see some of these guys, put their talents to a different side of the things that they're writing, because there are so many great writers in this town. It's unbelievable.
So I have a question, if that's okay.
Go ahead. Go.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can finish. You said you had taken a break. Is that correct?
Yes.
You said you took 3 years off?
I did.
I have done the same thing on and off for so many years. And so there's always a different reason, clearly. So why would you say that you took the last 3 years off from doing your music? Like, did your priorities change, or what was the deal?
Priorities changed. Not so much priorities, because I was always playing and I was always doing that stuff. But for some reason, I didn't get the same kind of satisfaction I did that I previously had with different projects and stuff like that. I mean, the project I was in at the time was fantastic, and I was writing and all that stuff. But it was during a time where bands were still trying to get a record deal, and so there was a lot of that pressure still going. And I was a quarterback of that band, and it was just something that I didn't enjoy doing. I did not enjoy worrying about if my drummer or if my guitar player made weight. I didn't care that I was an Indian, and one producer told me that you'll never make it being an Indian in a band. It's just shit like that kind of takes a toll on you sometimes, and you kind of need to sit back and then keep so you can still have that love. And then I found that love again, and so I guess
Right.
I started kind of like what Kevin said earlier. Like I started this as just a project where I just recorded one song, and after doing one song after 3 years, it was just like opening Pandora's box, and all of a sudden just like all these feelings, emotions started coming out, and one song turned into the six, and that was back in January, and I'm already on track 6 of the second record, so I'm hitting it pretty hard now. So it's good to be back.
And I think that you said something just really powerful, because I think every single person can relate to this idea of, like, at some point somebody in your life tells you you're never going to be somebody, whether it's a producer or a leader or whoever else. I've been told that. And, am I anybody special? Maybe not, but I would consider myself a very independent woman at this point in my life, and raising a daughter by myself and doing an okay job. And plenty of people have told me I'd never be anyone. So it does take a toll on you, and I'm just glad that you didn't let it keep you down. You're back in the game and doing what you love.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, let me interject something on this too, because first of all, the entertainment industry is full of those types of people, and most of those types of people have failed, and that's why all they want to do is see you fail.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make music for yourself. You can't sit back and write music and go, gee, I wonder what's hot on the radio these days. Or, I need to make a song that sounds like this because this is a way somebody's going to notice me, or this is a way something's going to make something happen. I need to write a song like this.
Exactly.
You got to get rid of all that bullshit, and you got to write songs. You got to write songs for yourself, because ultimately, if I can't please myself, I'm not going to please anybody else. I sit there.
That's why your pants are off.
Over my music.
That's why your pants are off.
Right.
This show has been way too clean up until now, and then he has the door was open. Kevin was about to die if he didn't say anything.
He served it up, and I knocked it fucking out of the park.
Out of the park, buddy. Yeah. I'm glad you're back. I was worried about you for a second.
I know, because listen, guys. Jamie, hold on, Jamie. Jamie's is a guest tonight, but she's already fucking hijacked the hosting duties of this show. I love it.
I can bow out at any time.
No, baby. Keep going. Keep going, Jamie.
No, Jamie, you stay in, because Kevin only talks to me because of my good looks, and I feel used and abused when I talk to him. So I enjoyed a good conversation with you just now.
Now,
for the record, music industry is full. Hold on. The music industry is full of people with their pants on.
Touche.
That was the point I was getting. That was the point I was trying to make.
Now, Rahul, for the record, check us out, Rahul. For the record, you mentioned you got all these hugs, at the gig. Be honest. Was the hug I gave you that lasted 11 seconds. Did that feel weird to you?
Man, I had that movie tear, like that one tear that came down my cheek.
It
in
did.
slow motion.
You're beautiful, baby.
And then the room was spinning and glowing. Everybody was having, loving it. It was a moment.
It was a moment. Right. Exactly. Yeah, that was with me too. All right. Enough said. All right. So, yeah. Now, Jamie, I'm going to digress a little bit. Jamie, you talked to your music. What did you do? Have you done original stuff? Have you wrote?
Oh, of course,
anything?
yeah. Definitely have.
All right.
And I think I can really relate to what you said because, I mean, it's like, can somebody put a gun to your head and say, have an erection? It doesn't really work that way.
Well, that's kind of the way I prefer it, actually.
Well, that's another subject.
Yeah.
Are we still
That was Kevin, not Rahul, by the way.
Yeah.
still talking about music?
We're talking rock and roll. It's all rock and roll.
You know what? I think
Oh,
like
Lord.
you said, if you can't do it for yourself, you can't do it for them. So I
It's
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a T-shirt. I'm gonna have it next week, boss.
There you go. Jamie, do you sleep better after you do that? Never mind. All right, never mind. All right. So we got now. Seriously, Jamie, you've got to connect with these two guys. Seriously, through Facebook or Craigslist or
I've added
Tinder,
them.
however you want to
I've
connect
added
with them.
them.
Yeah, these guys. These are, I'm telling you, two great people, incredible musicians. So if you're really wanting to get back into the music scene here, hook up with these guys. Whatever. But.
Whoa, hello?
We lost Kevin. We lost Kevin Hale.
Yeah.
So,
Can you hear me?
Or what have you done?
We can hear you now.
All right.
I think Jamie's trying to get you just out of the show completely.
I know she is.
Hey.
She is phasing me out. But you know what? That just
I don't
means I
know
get
what
to
you're
take the
talking
night
about.
off. I can take the night off, and the show can continue. What's next for K-Mick? What do you got going on? Because you're still gigging with Uncle Cracker, and you got all this stuff. What is next on your agenda for the next? Taking us through the. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, I've got some stuff coming up with Velvet Saints in the next couple of months. I have, I still do the Brian Fox and Good Chickens country band.
Mm-hmm.
We have, there's a show coming up for that. And then, I've got some Cracker dates that start in May that go all the way through October. But in between all of that, I have, those are just like I fly out for a weekend, come home, fly out for a weekend, come home. Actually, I'm talking about the next Avant-Garde Dog show sometime in June. Yeah, I want to do another show in June.
Yes.
Because the next show I want to play a little longer. I want to play some new stuff. There's just like Rahul said, he's already 6 songs into his next album, and I am as well. I've got about 9. I've got about 9 started. 6 of them are done. And I'd like to play some new music, as well as maybe a couple of the songs that we didn't play this time off the record due to, just trying to stay on time. And, just do it again, drive a couple more bands. And by the way, let's give another shout out to Chase and Eric that played with us, Jake Skinner. I had a lot of people, and Light Trees has had a lot of people come up to me and be like, man, that band that you guys, because they were kind of the band that none of our friends had ever heard of. Chase is kind of a pal, is really good pals with us, and we know a lot of the same people. But Light Treasons was a band that came in that a lot of our people didn't know, and they were like, "Man, that band kicked ass," So that was good for for all of us, because that's kind of what we were trying to do. We were trying to have our people get into a new band, and some of their people maybe get into our band too, because ultimately that's what we try to do to get the community bigger into live original music again, is bands sharing their crowds with each other. And hopefully you find a few more fans by getting another band come in that they don't necessarily know. Mm-hmm. So
how far?
That's just kind of the way you spread the love.
Right. How far, guys, are we away from really getting you guys, the original bands, back into the scene? Because again, I'll profess, I love my cover bands. I love the guys that I was hanging with Saturday night. But there's nothing like original music that just I want to feel it, and you guys deliver.
Rahul and I were talking about that. We hope that this is somewhat of a catalyst. It's all up to the individual. Rahul and I, just said, let's play a show together, and we did it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting off your ass and doing it.
Yeah, there's really no excuse. I mean, because you don't have to do that. The great thing about original music, you can do a show every 6 weeks, 2 months. So once you get tight, you really don't have you don't have to rehearse as much. So do it, and then because everybody wants to do it. I don't know a single person that doesn't want to do it. It's always, I don't have time, or like this or that or this.
Well, everybody's always worried about the money aspect and the turnout, and and for us, we just weren't worried about it. We just said, hey, if we make some money, we make some money. Shit, I think him and I paid everybody else, and Rahul and I didn't make a damn dime.
Right, you just
I know, but
I don't give a shit.
I didn't do it for the money. Chicks are still involved in the equation, right, guys? Always, right?
Of course not. They're gentlemen.
They're gentlemen.
I'm a gentleman.
Yeah.
I'm a gentleman.
If I swear to God, I would love to. I'm going to go on and throw this out here, McCreery. If I could have you on a show one night, because to be honest, how many years have you had? Your music career has gone how many years? I'm going somewhere with this, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, you like professionally, like playing for a living type of thing?
Yeah.
Or I mean, are you counting? Shit. I was
let me be totally blunt. From the first time you played and got laid until now, what was the?
I knew that's where you were going. I knew exactly that's where you're going.
You did. I know you did.
Well, that was probably about 1980.
All right. So my point is that we could have we could have a show totally dedicated to going down memory lane. I would love to hear.
Oh God.
K1's best stuff. Right. Kevin and my wife.
No, you.
I am still the host of the show.
I shouldn't be here.
No, you're one of us now, James.
Hey, hold on. This is crazy. So, Kevin, you just said 1980, right?
Yeah, he did.
1980. I was born in 1980. I was born in 1980. Are you my daddy?
My daddy.
Wow.
We might get onto something here.
I've always felt something close to you, buddy.
Yeah. See, this is.
I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell.
This is kind of my Tuesday night show. Tuesday night is all music. It's so rock and roll, Jamie. Well, you've listened to it, but this is I love talking, guys. Now, Rahul, let me get him in. You mentioned you're 6 songs into your next album or EP? What are we talking?
I'm gonna do a full one this time. So I've already done.
Okay.
I've already did all the 6 songs where I did the drums, the guitars, and the vocals. And now I'm gonna try it out with these in the second half of the record, doing it with the guys that you saw on stage. Because they're all talented guys, and I want to. It's I guess a couple more. Sometimes it's good to be solo, and then sometimes it's good to have a group. But I think it's this time around I'm going to have some other writers in with me to do the second half of the record. So that's going on. We have the video going and lovely stuff. Yeah. But what are you going to say?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but on your EP that you released, K-Mac was involved in that too, right?
Kevin did the mastering, so everything was tracked and recorded.
Gotcha.
And then you master a record before it actually goes to print. And so basically it makes something that sounds great even better. And Kevin kick ass with that. And he's got such a perfect ear for it. It just kind of takes the overall sound and makes it even better. So he nailed it for sure.
Oh, go on.
You got it. Oh, go on.
Yeah, so we.
Don't stop on
I was talking about different kids. But so we got the video out. The video's out. So we had like 5,000 views in 4 days. So I'm pretty excited about that. Losing my religion video.
That's pretty awesome.
So hopefully
that's pretty badass.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I'm hoping that keeps pushing. Hopefully we get a name out a little bit more from that. And then with the record. And then I'm planning on a show soon. Since today's kind of sold me on it, like today was such a success, I'm really thinking a no pants show where everyone's stripped to no pants.
That'd be sweet.
Would be a really good idea.
Speaking of pants, what the fuck was going on with your pants that night, Kevin? What was that?
What was wrong with my pants? I had pants. I was wearing jeans with eyeballs on them. What?
No, they were not jeans. Were they like Zubas? They look like kind of look like Zubas back in the 80s. Was that not the case?
You're racist, Kevin.
No, they're just
not
like
racist.
jeans. They had eyeballs on them.
Eyeballs, lots of eyeballs.
Zubas had like zebra stripes in pink and black and shit. You know?
Okay, you're right.
Black and white jeans.
Black and white.
You heard it.
I had a few people tell me they're like, we got to totally respect a man wearing his pajamas. I'm like, why did they look like pajamas? They're jeans with eyeballs on them. They're just like any other pair of jeans I wear.
With eyeballs.
I wore jeans. Raul wore jeans. Those didn't look like. Well, not.
I'll bring him over and
you're hurting my feelings. You're hurting my friend's feelings.
Emma.
All right, Kevin has feelings.
I'm not getting my.
You know what? We already talked about safe spaces earlier tonight. You missed it. Sorry, we're not.
Wait a minute. We talked about what
this time?
Say it again, Jamie. Oh.
Safe spaces.
Safe. Okay. Guys, I have to ask real quick because I'm gonna divert from music because that's your whole thing. How involved are you guys? I'll start with Kevin first with politics. One of the topics of tonight. Yeah, here we go. This is the real world. One of the topics we had earlier tonight. Trump's our president. First 100 days. Kevin, how would you assess Mr. Trump, President Trump?
See, you're making me talk about things I don't like to talk about in the public.
Which is Monday night.
You want to know?
Yes, I do want to know. Yes, go.
This is the reason I don't talk about politics and religion in a public forum because I feel like
that's my Monday night show is religion in politics. But go ahead.
We're the ironic part of the show.
Because I do have very strong beliefs in both of those things, as do most people. But
right.
It's like there are some people that are like, which I'm not one of those. As a matter of fact, I just said this on Facebook today. Somebody was talking about somebody's political views. Actually, I think they were talking about Ted Nugent in particular. And I quote, and somebody was bitching about Ted Nugent, and I posted on my friend's page, because it was a buddy of mine, I said, listen, if I didn't listen to an artist because I didn't believe in their political or religious stance, I probably wouldn't listen to any music at all. Because if you base what you listen to, like musically or artistically, or let's say anything artistic, if you base that on anybody's political or religious views, art is art. Art is its own thing. And I don't have to agree with a person's lifestyle. I don't care if they bang donkeys in their spare time. If they put out good music, I'm going to listen to it and be inspired by the music. You know what I mean? I don't have to agree with everything they do in their personal life to enjoy their art. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But there are a lot of people that don't abide by that. And so once I start, and I really just social media is just a place for people to call each other idiots. And, obviously we're all idiots because the left thinks right-wingers are idiots and the right-wingers think the lefters are idiots. So everybody's an idiot right down the middle. Somebody's right, somebody's wrong, right? So, and nobody thinks that they're wrong. So I always stay out of that argument out of respect for my friendships with people that some of my closest friends are on the opposite out of the aisle of me.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have said, if you voted for so-and-so or if you didn't vote for so-and-so, you're an asshole and an idiot. And so I text them and go, oh, so I'm an asshole or an idiot, huh? You're one of your best friends? I'm an asshole or an idiot, huh? That's what you think of me because of this or that, See, it starts getting personal, and I don't like that. I grew up in the 70s, in the late 60s and the 70s, where, voting was a privilege, and you kept a secret. When somebody asked you who you voted for, it was like, what the fuck are you asking me that for? That's none of your business. It was an insult to be asked who you voted for, because it was a really closely guarded personal thing. Mm-hmm. And so that's my answer to your question. I'm not going to talk about politics because I'm just not going to go there.
Well, again, I have to add something because
go ahead.
I think that I'm sorry. You want to go ahead, Kevin?
No, please go.
I think that you brought up something brilliant. I think you navigated that question perfectly because you're probably smarter than us. I have been very outward in the way that I feel about certain things, and it's a personal decision that I had made at the time and continue to make. But it would be a lie for me to say it hasn't affected my personal life, whether it's friendships or any other personal relationships. it can get in the way. And taking a neutral stance is still taking a stance. So I wouldn't say you're doing nothing. You're doing something, and it's a noble stance. And
I vote.
It does.
What I do is I
you.
vote my conscience. I vote my conscience, and I feel strongly about a lot of things, and I vote for it. And if I win, I win. And if I lose, at least I did my part. And I don't. And you can ask any one of my friends. I have a lot of people that hit me up on Facebook privately. And they go, and when this whole thing was going down, because this has been a pretty crazy election. This has been one for the record.
It's still crazy. It's still crazy.
Yeah, but but I mean, on both sides, and I'm talking about both sides. I'm not just talking about the Trump haters and the Hillary haters.
Exactly.
I get a lot of personal messages from people assuming I believe a certain way. Right. Because I'm a musician, or they believe I believe a certain way because I'm close to a certain person who has strong beliefs a certain way, and they just assume. And I'm like, and I never tell them, but I say, you know what? I think it's really crazy that you're assuming anything when you don't know me personally, and just because I it's like, without giving too much away, I just refuse to go there. And
well, see, this is where this is like tonight's show, Monday night show is again. I promote, like, the first segment. I'll promote a local talent that's totally out of the sport or music thing. Thus, Jamie, but our show for the most part on Monday nights has a political, religious kind of feel to it. And I can't lie, Kevin. No,
that's cool.
And I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but to have someone like you, no, seriously, to have someone like you who is like who you are musically in town, to get that side of you, to me, that's not for a soundbite, but that's the side of you I don't get to talk about or get to talk to. And I feel like if you're willing to talk, I'd love to have you, any of my buddies who are, musician, whatever, come on and talk, and it's hell. I think it's healthy because it's who we are. And the fact that you have to defend yourself on Facebook and blah, 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 that kind of says, where we are as a nation. I think we are as divided as ever.
If I wasn't a musician and I wasn't trying to, obviously I want people to come to the shows, and I like people in general. I do. I think people inherently are good people.
I know.
I think some people get fucked up and they go down the wrong path, but I think in general people are inherently good people and are smart people. But somewhere down the line, some shit goes bad and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get any deeper than that, but,
I got to say something here, because I think it's important for us to point out, even if we're not going to go into specific beliefs about anything, let's just point out that, freedom of speech and the freedom to believe whatever the hell you want in the United States of America is literally what we're founded on. Yep. And I just think that it's so important for us to note right now that you think that if you were to be public about what you believe, that it would affect your income, it would affect your opportunities, it would affect whether or not people are going to follow you or like you. And I think that's bullshit. And I think that it's bullshit because this is a fucking free country. And the fact that there are celebrities I love who came out and said, I vote for Hillary, and how Hollywood is. And most of them vote left. And I'm fairly conservative. So it's like, but I don't go unliking their pages or freaking boycotting their movies or not liking them anymore or not liking their comedy or whatever else.
See, that's
because I just think.
And you know what? It's because you're a well-rounded person.
Right. see, I'll put my 2 cents in. I think it becomes an issue when a person defines themselves by it. And I think a lot of that happened where it literally took over their lives. And I've seen people lose friendships. I've seen people say things to each other they didn't mean. But it happened because obviously this is probably the biggest, it is for me, the biggest, controversial election of my lifetime. But I think it's healthy to do what you just said. If you want to talk about it, talk about it. If you don't, try to have a positive impact on people. But I don't think it's healthy is when I can literally see people getting sick, making themselves sick over this, the pressure of feeling like they weren't doing enough, or, just how it affected them. I mean, people were having nightmares. People were, it was just, I think when it started hearing, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It really brings up a lot, because this is one of the reasons why I'm willing to be open about who I am and what I believe. And again, holy crap. You guys go ahead and talk for a second. Give me a second.
Is something on fire? Wait a minute. Do we need to call 911? What's going on?
As long as it's Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Hopefully, yes.
Party.
Is it pizza rolls? You got pizza rolls?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are hilarious.
You guys are totally missing my tea party joke over here.
What was your
my tea party joke?
She's making a tea.
Tea, yeah.
So back to my point.
Jamie, hold on, Jamie. Did you have to blow on your oven? Did you blow your oven just now?
Her pizza rolls?
No. I've been having this issue with my smoke alarms in my condo forever. It's making me crazy. I'm gonna step outside just in case that happens again. Oh my gosh.
Guys, I cannot wait to bring Jamie to one of our gigs so we can
I think I'm in love with Jamie.
Yeah, she's you know what? This is the first time I've truly talked to her. We've talked on Messenger and stuff, and she's actually, I'm throwing it out here, Jamie, and you can't say no to me in front of the guys, but I want Jamie, I'm asking Jamie to be part of the shooting from the Lit family because she's just looks and brains.
Aww.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, you're so sweet. I cannot wait. I'm definitely going to be a part of it. It's so much fun for me.
It's so rock and roll. It's so.
Are you moving on my girl?
Yeah, we're gonna bring. Yeah, these guys are my brothers. Jamie is my.
I'm only saying yes because I have men arguing over me now, and that's enough reason right there to say yes.
That's bullshit. I will not be second. I will not be second choice. So we'll talk offline about that. All right. But, all right. Kevin, what's your schedule this week? Because I know Saturday you're back with the Griswolds, which is another great gig.
Yeah, Griswolds on Saturday at Bistro.
Yeah. You got any other gigs
Thursday,
this week?
Yeah, I think.
Are you with Devereaux?
With Christine.
Devereaux.
Yeah, on Thursday. Mm-hmm.
We love Devereaux. All 4'11" and a half of her.
Oh yeah, we have a good time jamming together. We've had a good time. So.
Hey, I'm doing the show with
What are you doing?
I'm doing the show with Tony Vanetti and Dwight Witten tomorrow at 6.
Are you really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Have you shared
that's
that
the WHAS?
Yeah.
I will tomorrow, but yeah.
Okay.
I'll be on there. So that's from 6 to 8. Kevin, what's the station?
It's WHAS 840.
840. I was thinking 860. Yeah.
Yeah, for people listening, AM radio, I'm not in competition with those guys. They do their own thing. They can't say fuck, pussy, cunt, cock, motherfucker. They can't say all those words. I can.
No, they can't. But I was on their show last Friday, and
I know. Yeah.
They were playing a movie. They were playing that movie trailer, and they had to hit the dump button because he thought it was a mess. I was like, oh my god, just went on 8:40 a.m. But it didn't. I think they stopped it because there's a delay.
There's a 7 second. There is the 7 second delay.
Yeah,
that might be because of me from like years ago.
Check this out. Somebody who is listening to the show right now, God love her. I'm gonna give her a shout out. Lori Beth Hall. Billy Bob was the character from Varsity Blues. I forgot. It was Billy Bob. Lori Beth. Thank you. Yeah. So. Jamie, you are going to go to prom, right?
Oh, man. But I do have to say, I got to give a shout-out to Lori, too, because she's a friend of mine. Wonderful girl.
She is.
And I know that she has stuck around and listened to this entire show to support me, so thank you so much, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
You know what? Kevin, if you can find a prom that will take a 50-year-old, I will go with you.
Fuck you. You C word. You're the C word. You're the B word. You're the all those words. Hey,
you know what?
King caring and beautiful. That's what these men.
Exactly. Oh, God, there you go. Leave it to Rahul to save the day.
Yeah. That's how I get the girls, buddy.
I'd be willing to take a 31-year-old single mom. So not much better.
Jamie, do you know how much my street cred would stay elevated if I took a 31-year-old anywhere? If I took you to the mall or White Castle at 2 a.m., my street cred stays good. So.
Oh my God, you guys are great.
Tonight, once again, I fucking feel like I delivered a quality show. Kevin, I'll start with you. Share with us social media. Where can people stalk you, find those pants or whatever the fuck you were wearing at that gig?
I want to buy you a pair of them.
I want to wear those same ones. I don't want a bought pair. I want to wear those same ones.
I don't know, brother.
I don't know.
Seems a little unsanitary. I don't wear underwear.
I know you don't.
So right now, you don't have pants on or underwear on. That's awesome.
Yeah,
right.
All Kevin has on right now is a smile, and that works.
We're changing
for me.
the stipulations for the show.
Exactly.
I'm actually wearing a camisole.
Yeah. Kev, what's going on with you, project or gig-wise in the near future and social media? Go.
Well, social media is easier because all the gigs are up online. So just, I'm on Facebook, Kevin McCreery Music, or my name, Kevin McCreery, McCreery. Avant-Garde Dog is a Facebook page. We have a Twitter now, which I think is AGD444, and Instagram is Avant-Garde Dog 444. So I just actually started those since we had some pictures from the show, so I started putting up photographs and all that stuff. But, I'm all over the place. Just find me.
I know.
Just look for me. I'm, some of it's cool.
Good stuff.
Some of it's, just me looking for stuff, asking people if they own a turntable.
Did you find your turntable, by the way?
I did, but I'm still looking for the console. I think I found a console, too, that I've been looking for forever.
You find your microphone?
And I didn't find my microphone. I have not.
That's my Beck joke.
Rahul, share with us what's new for you coming up and social media.
Coming up, recording right now, and then please, if you haven't watched the video yet, go watch the video. It's on my Facebook. I'm pretty sure if you just type in Google Indian that plays music, I'll pop up. And then you just click on. I'm kidding, by the way. You guys are writing it down. So my site's borkarmusic.com. BORKAR.
Yeah, Google.
BoyRideAnIndian.com.
Yeah, Google Borkar, another Indian who's taken over the world, and you'll hit his video once again. Yeah. So.
There you go. And then Facebook, just look me up. It's Rahul, Rahul is my name.
And that dot is all in capital letters. Dot, not feathers. Dotted.
Dot in capital.
Yeah. Oh. If you go to special service, make sure you put dotted. Yeah.
Right, my brother's K1, who I know him as I understand the pecking order, and Rahul. You guys, much love to you.
Hold on, Kevin, can we get you to say my name properly now that we got you on the air too? Hale, say my name.
Rahul.
Say my name.
Kevin, now will you teach him how to say it?
It's Rahul.
Say it. Rahul.
Rahul.
Rahul. Oh, all right. Rahul. I got it. It's good. I got it now.
Say it.
Jamie.
Say it.
Jamie, can you say it? Jamie,
yeah.
Say it.
Oh, shit.
So you got to go.
Give it to us, Jamie.
Rahul.
Say his name.
Say it again.
No.
Right,
say it the way he said it.
Gotta go, Rob.
This is the atypical. This is a shooting from the lip show. This is a keeper. This is an instant classic. Guys, I love you, Kevin. I love you, Rob. Good
love
stuff,
you too, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Jamie, stay put.
All right.
Good night, guys.
See you guys.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Nice to meet you, Jamie.
See, Jamie, this is a Monday night. This is what my show is about. Not every Monday night show goes to this extreme, but Those guys came on and killed it. I actually, it's like I had an opening for the last segment, and I knew, Kevin and Rahul had done, I was part of their promoting their gig on 415. And when I saw them on my birthday night, they were like, we needed to do a show to talk about the show. And I'm like, okay, I kept that in mind. And then when tonight opened up, it kind of played out. But anyways,
Yeah.
Jamie, me to you.
Yeah.
You fucking killed it tonight. You killed it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I have
Russ,
done live radio before.
I know. I mean, I got that. But, it's obviously the podcast, everything about our show is, it's kind of tongue in cheek to a degree. It's, as an attention whore that I am, not really, but I host, produce all the shows. But for me to you, I seriously, I'm throwing this out here. I'm going out on a limb. I would love you to, as often as you can, to be part of the show. And what I found out tonight, Jamie, is that you actually not can only do the Monday night show, you can sit in on a Tuesday night music show because of your music,
Right.
history. So, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good God. You're like bucking for a promotion, which I think you've earned it in and out. And you've been a trooper. You've been on for over 2 hours. You did your workout early.
Mm-hmm.
So let me. I had to do something while you're gathering your thoughts. I got to plug an event that's coming up this week. The band Doppelganger, a Louisville local band who is 3/4 teenage band, is helping prevent child abuse by rocking lives Tuesday, tomorrow, 4/25, 6 to 8 at Barano's by the Bridge for Exploited Children's Help Organizations. Hashtag Pizza for Prevention. You can see an intimate special acoustic rendition of some of the best rock and roll to come out of Louisville. They are. I can vouch for those guys. Doppelganger. Check this. Seriously, Jamie, another band to get acclimated with. This band called Doppelganger. 3/4 of their band are teenagers. One is like 15 or 16. I mean, these are guys that are just incredible. They're great musicians, and I have to think that people that I have on the show, promote on the show, aren't half-ass, and I take that. I don't mean disrespect to. Well, no, I guess I'll be straight shooting. Anybody who has been on the show, who are on my shows, I feel like they lend to the show. I feel like the show does them a favor to come and promote themselves, but they also, with their talents, their whatever, is they come on and they add to the show itself, our show. So I think I'm babbling now. I'm babbling.
That's okay. I know exactly what you mean, though. This is a two-way street.
Two-way street. Two-way street.
At no time were any animals or people hurt during this presentation of Shooting from the Lip.